Welcome back to my Before the Big One series. Anyway, this is my third video, and I want to talk about fitness. Kind of. Not really. Fitness adjacent, I think I would say. So you do need a little bit of backstory for this, but I'll try to make it quick because it's not that interesting. One of the things that my sister and I enjoy doing together are like 5Ks, like runs and stuff. And we try not to go more than 5K because I'm not a very good runner currently. I'm working on it. Hopefully I'll get better. Anyway, so she was telling me a couple months ago, she was telling me about this run that she had just done. And while I was talking to her on the phone, kind of half listening, as I was listening to her, I was also scrolling through on Instagram. And one of the things that kept popping up was a sponsorship that I had seen a couple of times that was for this thing called yes.fit. And it's a bunch of virtual races. And honestly, the first couple of times I saw it, I was like, this looks so dumb. Why would you do a virtual race? That's like you could cheat so easily. Why on earth would you do this? And so on and so forth in my head. But I saw it, and she was talking about how she had gone on a run. And the last run that I did was in November for the turkey trot. And I kind of missed it. I kind of hate/love training for things like this. I'm like, we should totally do something. And now she was talking. I was like, yeah. Oh, okay, you gotta go. Bye. And when I came upon that sponsorship, I looked through a bunch of the races that they had. And they had a bunch of crazy ones. Like, there was a Beauty and the Beast. There was a Sherlock Holmes. There was a Yeti. There was a unicorn. There was this weird, like, hot chocolate type thing. And all of the runs, I think the shortest run that I saw was 18 miles. So I took a bunch of screenshots and I sent them to my sister via Instagram. Because I'm like, I mean, hey, look at this. Isn't this kind of cool? Thinking nothing of it after that. A couple days later, I got a message back on Instagram from her being like, okay, yeah, I definitely want to do this. Which one do you want to do? And I was like, I don't know, which one do you want to do? And she's like, no, I'm not choosing. Pick one. And she actually sent me like 7 or so different options. She's just like, of these ones, which one do you want to do? And I went through and I'm like, meh, I don't really like that one. Don't really like that one. There was one that she did. She sent me the unicorn one, which no way in hell, because that one was 121 miles, I believe. It might have been 121.3 miles, but still, it was like, do you want us to be doing this for the next 4 years? Anyway, so I'm like, definitely not that one. And I ended up narrowing it down to 3. There was one that was a Sleeping Beauty one, the Sherlock Holmes one, and the King Arthur one. And I'm like, okay, one of these 3 you can go ahead and pick. And she's like, no, I'm not picking. You pick. So I ended up picking the King Arthur challenge because I guess I liked the shirt the best. And she's like, oh, that's really cool because I really like the medal. And the medal is basically a overhead view of the round table with a bunch of hilts poking out, hilts of swords, poking out from where all of the chairs would be. And I'm like, oh yeah, that looks pretty cool, but like, what am I going to do with the medal? And she's like, that's not even the best part. The medal spins. And I'm like a fidget spinner? And she's like, shut up, it's cool. And I'm like, you're right, it sounds really cool. I want one too. And she's like, you can get both of them, but it costs a little bit more. And I'm like, I'll just get the shirt. It's okay. And it wasn't until after I had purchased it that I realized I wasn't going to get the shirt until I finished the race. And that made me kind of upset because I wanted to wear the shirt while I was working out. So I started working out, of course. Now, since it's a virtual race, you have to log all of your things onto the yes.fit app. And the easiest way to log it is to have a different workout app that you normally use and have that connected to the yes.fit app so that it just does it automatically. I don't have one of those. I don't really use an app other than, like, I have an app that I use, but I log it in all manually anyway. So that's what I ended up doing with this. It was logging everything in every time I went for a walk or whatever. I had to log in how far I went, how long it took, all that fun stuff. And every time I would log something in, I would get an email that said, "Hey, it looks like you logged X amount of miles. Yay, go you. You're doing great. Woohoo." And occasionally I would get an email that said, "You just passed a mile marker." And the mile marker is near mile 13 or, whatever it was. The King Arthur challenge was a 23.2 mile challenge. And so every, I don't know, every 5 or so miles, you would get another, "Hey, you just passed another mile marker." And most of the time they were just pictures like, "Oh, you just passed this cove," or "Along the way you were going down this path and it was this." While you're in the app, you can press one of the buttons to see where you would be in the race if you were actually in the UK. I was not in the UK at the time, so it was pretty cool to see where I was along the coast and all of that fun stuff. As we were going, I would text my sister, or she'd text me or call me and be like, "Hey, so how are you doing?" And it got to a point where I think we were about 20% of the way through when I passed her. And I was so excited about that. And at no point during the rest of the race did she beat me. And I was so happy. Like, too happy, probably. But what are you going to do? She beats me at every other race because I'm slow. But I was so excited. And just really, I don't know, it was fun because it was kind of a no pressure type of deal. So I completed the race about a week ago, and when the app said, "Yeah, you're 100% done," it told me that my sister was about 68% of the way done, which shouldn't have made me feel as happy as it does. But I won, so that was great. And they're like, "Hey, since you're finished, we're going to go ahead and send you your prize." And I was so excited. And I waited for it. And it got here just a couple of days ago. And I love it. And I'm going to show it to you now. This shirt is amazing. A little bit brighter of a red than I normally would like. But here it is. It says "Straight out of Camelot," and then at the bottom it says "King Arthur" and 23.2 miles. I love this shirt. I love it so much already. I've worn it once, like just to try it on, and it's a very lightweight. Oh, it's great. I love it. Another thing that I got in the package was this. It's a cute little, I feel like everything's just going to be mirrored, but it says, "I am the wow factor." And I just wasn't expecting it. It was really adorable. I was just, I wanted to share how happy I am that I completed that. I'm probably going to be signing up for another one here again shortly, maybe within the next month or so. Um, I might do like a 50-mile one. I'm not going to do the crazy unicorn one, but I don't really want to do another 20 something mile one because the Sherlock Holmes one looks really interesting, but that one's like 22 miles or something. And that's basically what I just did. I want to give myself a little bit more of a challenge. I do have an actual physical 5K coming up, and I'll probably be making a video about that. But I want to do another virtual one because I want to continue to try and get better at the fitness thing, even though I've been trying for years and years, and it doesn't seem like it ever gets any better. Oh, that's horribly depressing. Anyway, so um, I think that's it for today. I'm going to go ahead and go put on my awesome new shirt, and I will see you next time. Bye.